It says go.
Well, I don't, hopefully, I'm not sure if there's
Yes.
anybody here that can help us out if the audio is okay, because Jean has a new computer.
Mm-hmm.
So we are trying it out tonight for the first time. So hopefully you can hear us okay. Yeah. And I think it's a better computer. So hopefully the picture and everything is really good as well. So let us know if you're out there listening.
Mm-hmm.
He's
And
looking on his phone, but I
just
don't know if
wanna
it's
make
working.
sure it is working. Yeah, it is working.
All right.
I trust
Well,
the chat.
welcome everybody. It's been some time since we had a live, and it's been a longer time probably. We haven't put out a video in a while. So first we're gonna get it out there. We were burnt out. We were tired. We were tired of traveling. We were tired of living in a hotel, and we just we needed a break, and YouTube was one of the things that we took a bit of a break from. But we are feeling much better now and excited to be back, I think.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Excited to be back. Still deciding what to talk, what to do, but that's something else that we have to discuss.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. So I noticed that there's a few people on there. If you can just give a thumbs up that you can hear us, that would be great, just so we know that we're coming through okay for you guys.
Yeah.
Ah, wave to the camera.
Wave to the
Thank
camera.
you very
Let's
much.
wave to the camera. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So we kind of titled this live as how to get through your first years of retirement stress-free. And I don't know if it can ever be completely stress-free, because our last few, thank you, we're so happy to be back. Our last few months were sort of stressful.
Yes.
I think it was self-induced, but learning curve stress.
Yeah, but maybe even before talking about stress, we should kind of go back when we left and how excited we were and what we wanted to do and what ended up happening after the first year, when we basically decided we need a break.
Yeah.
And go from there. But I'm glad to hear that you guys they are back.
Yeah, we're back. So year one was really great. We had a fantastic time. We set out in April last year to start traveling the world, and hit the ground running with the Camino. And then we went to Brazil to spend some time with our family in Brazil and enjoy the condo that we had down there. We got to see some fantastic places like Argentina, Uruguay. We just recently spent some time in Mexico too, which we never really got to share with you guys, because that was kind of the point when we decided that we needed to take a break from YouTube for a little bit, because we were tired. It had been 4 years of videos at that point.
Yes, it has been 4 years. At the beginning of 2025, that's when we basically got to the 4 years, right? Because since 2021. Yeah.
And then from Mexico, we'll tell you all about that in a minute, but we decided to come back a bit early, and we're now here back in Canada, at my dad's house. So after, I don't know how many years on my own, I've moved back in with my father for 2 months. But so far it's going really well. So
yeah, that it's a good experience that we can't complain. But where are you guys from? Wave to the camera, share in the comments below. I'm interested to see where you guys are. Of course, we just mentioned that we are here in Canada, in Ontario, but Nicola and wave to the camera. I'm not sure if there is anyone else, but let us know in the comments below. And I keep looking at my phone. I just wanted to make sure that the audio is working well and it's working, because again, it's the first, but it's the first time. I'm not sure if there's some sort of interference with the quality of the audio or not, but it seems that it's working fine.
One of the reasons that, well, not a reason to come back to Canada, but one of the things we did when we came back here was we needed to replace Jean's computer. It was Texas, yes. Australia.
That's awesome.
All over the place. We needed to replace a few tech pieces, and we needed to drop a few tech pieces because we overpacked when we started out last year. Nicola from Toronto, excellent. And Chris, you're leaving next year.
No, that's gotta be exciting.
It's exciting.
Good for you, Chris.
Yeah. Okay, so where should we start?
Well, we start with all the excitement that we had. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm gonna go back to it, but it kind of can give you guys the lessons learned along the way that we've had. So when we initially decided to go and live in April, we wanted to do the Camino. So we created a few videos, and you guys can go back later on and watch those videos.
Yeah.
With that, we decided we are only gonna travel with backpacks, and that's what you did. Just backpackers. We downsized. We got rid of a lot of things. We donated, and everything. When we started the Camino, one of the lessons that we've learned, that's the Camino de Santiago, is we gotta be careful with the weight that we are carrying with us. Why? Because we will be carrying our backpacks with us along the way, and we walked the 800 kilometers, which is the Camino Francis, the French way, right? With that, the first lesson that we've learned is I cannot walk the Camino with the amount of stuff that we have with us. So we end up moving or sending some of this stuff back to Brazil, because Brazil would be our next stop after finishing the Camino.
Yeah, I think the actual lesson there wasn't, yes, it was that we needed to send some stuff ahead that we couldn't carry at all. But I think the real lesson that we learned starting then and throughout the course of our first year is we needed to kind of slow down, not make snap decisions, and do our research. And I feel like some of the times when we were planning our travels or doing some things, we just wanted to make sure we got our stuff moved or we got a place booked or something like that. And we didn't take the time to properly research the options that were out there. And this sending the stuff ahead on the Camino is one of those things. We could have sent it within Spain to the end of the Camino where it would have met us. And that would have saved us a significant amount of money and a significant amount of stress. But instead, we just wanted to make sure we knew where it was, and we shipped it to Brazil, which in hindsight wasn't the best decision. And it ended up costing us some money, and it ended up costing us a lot of stress. Well, mostly Jean, because I wasn't dealing with can't speak Portuguese. So
yes,
it caused some stress. But I think that was one lesson we've learned throughout that kind of carries through the entire year. I feel like we jumped to make sure we got a hotel booked, or we jumped to make sure we booked an Airbnb without really looking at the neighborhood too well, things like that. I feel like
on the Camino,
well, just in general for the whole year. The Camino was amazing, but the shipping of our stuff was not amazing. So I think that's lesson one, is just our first year, in order to save you guys some stress, is just take a breath and realize that the life you used to live, where you rushed around to get everything accomplished in a short period of time, isn't your life anymore. Now you have your time. And so just kind of take a step back, slow everything down, make sure you do your research, and it can save you, save you a little bit of headache down the road.
And part of it was actually on me, because I've seen watching other YouTube videos, and we see like those beautiful scenery and everything. That's when we decided to basically get a drone. So we got a drone without even practicing and having not a lot of training on how to properly use. In hindsight, I did not even know that depending on where you are, there are different rules that you might not even be able to fly the drone. Perfect example in Brazil. I thought that, I can just go to Brazil and fly my drone, and it was not even the case. As a result, we did not end up using the drone to the same extent that we wanted to do. And at the end of the day, that will be something that we can even live without it and not having to do this. The good thing is we wanted to bring you guys along with us and showing where we are and kind of have a different perspective. But at the same time, I've learned that some things we don't even need it. As a result, there's more weight on my backpack, and I was getting tired with it. And then we thought,
we don't need that.
No,
Simon, can you please keep us posted? Because ever since we finished the Camino, we have talked about doing another one, because it is has been the most epic experience of our lives to date, probably. And we've talked about the Primitivo. So let us know how it goes. Keep us posted, and maybe send some pictures. You can email us.
Yeah,
if you can, that would be great.
We will do this, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Selena. It's nice that we are very, very happy of
Seeing all you
talking
guys
to
again.
you guys again, right?
We've missed this.
We did.
As much as we took a bit of a break and we needed to reset, but we missed making our videos. We missed having the live sessions and chatting with you guys. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, and we wanted to say thank you for sticking with us, even with us not releasing videos at all. We were receiving comments, you were receiving emails and text messages and everything. So we wanted to say thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Right? So lesson 1. So we finished the Camino, and basically at the beginning of 2025, that's when we kind of left Brazil and we started traveling. We're kind of about going back to Brazil, even though we did come back for a short time. We went to Argentina at the beginning of the year, and here comes the second lesson learned, which is hotels, right?
Yeah.
So we left Brazil, we went to Buenos Aires, we spent a month in Buenos Aires. After Buenos Aires, we decided to go to 2 other cities, which are Mendoza and Cordoba. So that's our time in Argentina.
Yeah, and the hotels really kicked in Cordoba. We were in an Airbnb in Mendoza and Buenos Aires, and they were both really good. And then comes Cordoba. We checked into an apartment-style hotel. So it had a kitchen and it had a living room and a bedroom. So it was like an apartment, but it was the most uncomfortable apartment ever.
Yeah.
There was no couch to kind of lounge or sit on. There was nothing in the kitchen that we could use to cook. We did ask if they had any like things that we could use, and they brought us up 1 frying pan and 1 pot, but they had no utensils whatsoever to use to do any cooking. And that kind of started our journey into hotels. And we've talked about collecting hotel points and all this kind of stuff to use in our travels. And that was part of our strategy in 2025. We kind of really wanted to check out some of the videos and the discussions and stuff we had seen on YouTube about living in a hotel or using hotels as a viable means of accommodation.
Yeah.
Right. So our goal really in 2025 was IHG. That was our target program, and we wanted to achieve our 40 nights so that we could get the lounge access that we could then use throughout the next year and into 2026 through 2026 as well. And that would, when staying at a property that had it, entitle us to breakfast as well as snacks and drinks in the evening, which is really our evening meal.
Yeah.
So we were in a hotel from mid-February until we arrived back in Canada, May. Yeah, 10th or 11th.
Yeah, at the beginning of May.
So
the initial thought was actually come to Canada at the end of May. So that's May what 29th. Our initial thought of, okay, let's go and start exploring. We knew that we were gonna go to Argentina. We knew they were gonna go to Mexico, and in between Argentina and Mexico, we end up adding Uruguay as another country that we decided to go and spend some time. Why? In Argentina, the prices of the cost of living in Argentina was a little bit different than what we initially expected. Right?
Yep. But we didn't stay in hotels in Argentina.
No, we did not stay in hotels in Argentina, but basically knowing that, okay, here is that what you're gonna kind of go and expect. So let's stay in hotels moving forward to get those 40 nights, which are great. And honestly, we did not have to do this in the first 5 or 6 months of traveling. We could achieve the same 40 nights in a hotel with IHG throughout 2025, and as a result, in 2026 and in 2027, we still have
2026,
access. 2026, sorry, we still have access to the lounge.
But I think the thing we really wanted to test was living in a hotel.
Yes.
Right. And so that's why we crammed in. Well, didn't cram it in. We chose to stay full time from mid-February to May. We thought it was going to be fantastic. Yeah. We thought it was going to be great, right? We thought we didn't have to worry about cleaning. We didn't have to, somebody was going to come in and change our sheets and fresh towels all the time. You know, most of the places we were staying had breakfast included. So we thought that was wonderful. We would never have to worry about breakfast. Yeah. But what happened?
It's gonna sound like that we are complaining a lot, but you gotta go and experience, reality. Right? So, but that's the reality. We end up figuring out that this is not the lifestyle, the kind of travel that we wanted to do. No. Is it nice to stay in a hotel and not have to cook or change the sheets and everything? Yes, it's nice, but it gets to a point where you kind of feel that, right? So
we just miss the routine of our day, and we miss the space. So we were staying in we got some pretty good rooms. Yeah. But what we realized quickly is that without our own kitchen to be able to just kind of go to the fridge and make a sandwich if you wanted to, deciding where to eat 3 times a day really becomes exhausting. Like, decision fatigue became a very real thing for us. Like, we couldn't even decide where we wanted to go for lunch or dinner. We're like, whatever, we'll just, whatever we come to, that's where we'll go.
We at the same time, sorry to cut you off, we decided to stop working because there were so many things, we gotta go from between our 9 to 5s, and we are in a hotel. It's a minor thing, but if you want to have breakfast, you are gonna have breakfast from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m., and that's basically the window that you have. There were a few times that I don't know if I want to have breakfast now. I want to sleep more, and things like this. Yeah, it might be minimal, but at the same time, that was something that was kind of bothering me quite a while. And then, yes, we can go out and have our breakfast somewhere else, but at the same time, we already had breakfast included on our
and then we were out of pocket for. As you guys know, we do like a good eating out. However, it became very tiring and very expensive. Yeah. And the other thing about living in a hotel is, I mean, we love each other. Clearly, we love each other and we love spending time with each other. But in a hotel room, you have no separation. So if I want to watch chateau renovations and Jean wants to watch his soccer games, there's nowhere to get away from each other. Yeah. So it's nice. Like, Airbnb or apartment style accommodation, booking.com, you can find a true apartment style situation where you have a separate bedroom, you have your kitchen, things like that. So we think that we know that our second biggest lesson is that we cannot live full time in a hotel. Yeah. And that we're still going to utilize hotels, and we're still going to utilize hotel points to offset those costs. But we're going to be using hotels if we're in a place for a week, and that's about it. After that, we're going to be looking for a longer, more settled solution to our accommodation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a few questions. I just wanted to go through this as we speak. One of the questions that we have, I'm sorry, I just need to scroll up a little bit. Where are you guys gonna heading after Canada?
We'll get to this one.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll circle back around. Yeah. And then same
question to Selena. What is gonna do to the rest of our year? We are gonna get that before. So we have single parent class.
Hello, welcome. I mean, there was tons of great things about staying in a hotel. Yeah. But there was some significant downsides that I don't think a lot of people talk about. And I think that the lack of space separation is one. The lack of routine. I guess you could have a routine. You can still go out and find places to eat. But for us, we really love hitting the markets and buying food to cook at home and, that kind of stuff. So we missed that part of our day.
We did.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But at the same time, I mean, the hotels that we were, that's our experience. We were not on the top, like the high-end hotels. There was not the lower-end hotels. It was like something in between.
We stayed mostly at
Yeah.
Holiday Inn
Yeah.
properties.
So,
and they were really great
yeah.
properties and really great breakfasts as well. But it's just after a while, you're like, I don't want that.
Yes. Yeah. So as we say, the majority of the hotels that we stayed, they were from IHG. And we also stayed a few days in Wyndham properties as well. Why? Because at the end of the year, the end of 2024, I had gotten a new card, which was the Wyndham card. And there's something that you can do with your Wyndham, which is match between other hotel chains and Wyndham. So we end up having that completed as well. And after completing this with Wyndham, that's when we decided to stay the 40 nights with IHG.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think it's going to come in handy coming up in the next section of our travels that we'll get to, because we're not abandoning hotels. We're not abandoning staying in hotels. But it's going to be a hybrid model for us moving forward.
So to recap, lesson number 1,
research
and
no spontaneous decisions.
Take your time to
I think
research.
it was more like a fear of, like, you see a great apartment or something like that, you're like, oh, it looks beautiful, but we didn't research the neighborhoods or where the hotel was located enough. And we show up and it's like maybe someplace we shouldn't be wandering after dark.
Yes. Yeah.
i.e. Montevideo. Downtown, Old Town. But it all worked out.
That's
live and learn, right?
Live and learn. Yeah.
So research, don't rush into anything.
Yeah.
For us, in our situation, we learned that full-time hotel living is not a reasonable thing, at least not in the first little bit of our lives, I don't think. Maybe that'll change. And lesson 3, what did you learn about money?
Oh, they come and go.
Well, definitely comes and goes. Goes more than it comes.
Yeah. I think it also goes back to having some flexibility. And we were looking at the numbers today. That's what we want to talk about, right? As you guys might know, and if not, we had a budget that we wanted to stick with, which is around 60,000 Canadian, which is more or less, depending on the exchange rate, around 44,000 US per year. So that's where we wanted to live our full-time travel. And when we were doing our research, we were looking for, okay, if that's the case, how much do we need to spend per month in accommodation, in eating out, in drinks, and health and entertainment, flights, travel, and things like this. And one of the things that we realized
accommodation is more important than we realized.
Yeah.
Like spending on comfortable, a comfortable spot, right? Someplace that's going to have a comfortable couch and feels like a home, as opposed to back to the hotel rooms, somewhere that you can't settle. If we're going to be in a place for a long term, we need to feel at home in that location, right? So yeah, we'd love to have a couch where we can like lay out and watch a movie, or chateau renovations, or things like that, right? So and that kind of sometimes comes with a bit of a higher price tag. So Jean is learning that perhaps the accommodation budget needs to be modified a little bit.
Yeah, and that's one of the, for those of you couples, that's one of the things that we need to learn and adjust as we go, right? When I was telling Christine, and it's all on me, by the way, when I was telling Christine, this is the kind of accommodation that you're looking for, but I was telling her, but the prices, they go up and the prices, they go down. From everything that we have seen, that I have seen, the prices kept going up and not down. And I was telling, but here's the budget that we have for accommodation. How are we going to be able to live on that location and do the things that we wanted to do? And here comes the compromise that we need to figure it out on how we wanted to do this. Having a discussion this morning, we were looking at our budget and the budget that we had. And it kind of blew my mind. The budget that we had for eating out for a month, it was $500 per month. That's the budget that we've had
prior to leaving.
Yeah. Do you guys believe it? Use the comments below if this is true or not. Can we knowing
us,
can we live in $500 per month with eating out? That's what we had, and it kind of blew my mind when I was looking at the numbers today. Granted, yes, we have this budget. It's basically some sort of reference. It doesn't mean that we cannot go over budget or under budget, which is usually the case. We can always find a balance, but we thought that our budget, I thought that the budget with $500 per month in eating out would be enough, which
yeah,
it's not,
you guys
right?
know, we're above that budget.
Yeah,
but I think what we've learned with the budget is that some months, not a chance.
Not a chance. Yeah.
I think our average monthly budget for eating out was like $1,200.
Yes.
Canadian. No, 1,400 Canadian, which was
Canadian.
just over $1,000 US.
Yeah. So we basically
doubled that budget.
We doubled that
Tripled
budget.
That budget.
Oh yes, it's triple. Oh my God.
But the funny thing is our budget, we were pretty bang on with our budget for the course of the year.
Yes, we overspent a little bit because of the points that we bought last year, which is gonna even
moving forward,
we will be able to reduce that, right? So yes, we were able to get from April 24 to April 25 with the $60,000. We were over budget. I don't know, maybe $7,000 or $8,000, which honestly it doesn't. Yeah, it does make a difference, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite that much. I think it was right around 4,000 or 5,000, but that was points that we purchased for future hotel stays.
Yeah.
So if we took those out of the equation, then we were pretty close to on budget, even with the crazy eating out that we did do. And we also talked about this because we say it every time in our budget videos, but for us, going out to eat and enjoying the local cuisine in different places, trying different foods, that's our form of entertainment. And so we don't want to give that up. We still want to be able to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But we're talking about different ways that, we need to sort of bring that down a little bit so that we can increase our accommodation budget to be able to find places that might be slightly more comfortable long-term.
Yeah.
In some places we're going to be completely fine because we'll get to where we're heading soon, but the cost of living in many of these places we're going is significantly less.
Yeah, and that's the kind of compromise that you need to have, right? So you want to go and explore the world, yes, we do well. If that's the case, and if you don't want to stay in hotels, it means that the places that you want to stay, you end up having to spend a little bit more to have a nicer accommodation and really, really enjoy the place.
Yeah, and with that comes the ability to cook our own food, which
we didn't do much.
Much, and I think that towards the end of the year, again, we were starting to. Thank you. Like the video, we were starting to feel the effects of eating out all the time as well, right? Health-wise. So towards the end of the year, we went to see some doctors in Brazil. We got a bunch of blood work done, and we were faced with the reality that we needed to eat better, we needed to exercise, and we needed to really get ourselves under control. And so we've really sort of been trying to focus on that. Though since being here with my dad and his partner, we've been eating a lot of baked goods, sugar, candy. So back on the track. But we'll get that one back under control. But yeah.
So the third one was, to summarize, was
budget. But your budget has to be flexible. And I think that our budget is going to flex a little bit moving into the future on different categories. And I think some months we're going to have to be okay spending more to have a comfortable place to live. And that just means we're going to dial back maybe a little bit on the eating out or some of the other categories, right?
Yeah.
But overall, I think by month 6, we stopped worrying about the budget.
We did.
And we started trusting our plan, which helped to alleviate a lot of our
Yeah.
stress.
Which is quite comforting, right? Going back to last year, I was telling Christine we were spending a lot of money on these things, the budget, which is 5,000 or 6,000, 7,000, and so on and so forth. And I kind of realized that sometimes that's what is gonna happen. See, it's all the blame on me,
No,
right?
it's
So yes, and we have to be flexible, and it is really important for those of you guys, partners, who are gonna be traveling with you together, which is understand that the only way that you can see if it works or not, it's going out there and experience that. Now, after year number one, I am 100% sure that yes, we might need to spend more in a few of those categories that we have for our budget, but we can save on ours, which is definitely what is gonna happen. Because if not, we would have to make YouTube like a lot of money for us, and we can have a budget of $2,000 for eating out and
yeah, no.
$1,800 for accommodation, which I know what that is not gonna happen, but it's just a way to show you the flexibility that we kind of need, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what else?
Yes. Exactly. Your annual budget. So some months are going to be higher and some months will be lower. It's exactly it, Chris. But overall, at the end of the year, we were on budget with so we weren't on budget. However, the overspend is forward spending, for the coming year. And I think talking about budget, I think that it's kind of interesting too so we've done this for 1 year. 1 year ago, we quit our jobs and we were reliant solely on our investments in order to fund our new life, right? So as we all know, the markets have gone up and down quite a bit over the last 4 or 5 months. And pretty sure probably a lot of you have seen your portfolios fluctuate as well. And I think that's when we became really confident in our strategy that we sort of undertook. So we decided last year we were commuting my pension. So we weren't going to have a locked in regular payment coming from a pension. We were investing that on our own. And what we've ended up doing is investing pretty much half of our portfolio. Maybe not quite half, maybe just maybe 40% of our portfolio is invested into growth for the future. And that's in our retirement accounts, our registered retirement accounts. And then the other 60% is what we have invested into our day-to-day dividend and distribution portfolio. And over the past year, that strategy is really working well. Even with everything that's been going on, and even, our dividends have been coming in and even going up. So we really feel like we came up with a solid plan that's going to kind of take us forward into the next 5-10 years until we start to draw down everything. But for the next 5 to 10 years, at least, our dividends and everything I think we've nailed out a solid plan.
We did. But this is something that you guys can see. There are people who think the best way is having growth on the portfolio at the beginning of the year or throughout the year. You end up selling part of your portfolio and living off their amounts. And some of them, it's only dividend. We do what we call hybrid, which is a little bit of dividends and a little bit of growth. But that's what you need to decide what is going to work for you, what is going to make you sleep at night and being comfortable with that situation. Because knowing us and what we have been through with COVID and like going 2 or 3 years back, we were in a hard spot. Christian was not eating definitely and sleeping well. With the amount of money that we lost, you should watch a video where or don't watch a video. But it's a good learning opportunity, right? Where we had to sell a position and we lost 3 digits. I mean, it's more than $100,000 that we lost on that specific investment, right? Going back now, fast forward to 2025, at the beginning of the year when the stocks were kind of going down, if you were,
Dropping.
dropping quite a lot, if you were to be living off only the growth portfolio, you might not be in a better spot because you might be selling some of these positions for a loss just because you do need the money.
Or at a
Right?
down point in the
Yeah.
market, right?
Yeah, so that's what you need to figure out what is going to be working for you. And in our case, it's working well. And honestly, funny enough, one of the things that we did not stress about in 20 up now for this 1 year is about money. We didn't stress at all with the market fluctuation.
Yeah.
Right?
Jean stressed a little bit at the beginning with the budget, but he got over that one.
I did. Yeah, I really did.
So,
yeah.
So far, it's so good. Let's see.
So let's go back and look at some of the questions that we have up here. Selena was talking about the hotels.
Yeah, it was just about next year.
Damien was talking about that. Mask Finance can get like comida del dia for $5, which is good, right? It's really nice.
That's in Panama, I think.
Panama, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the likes.
Okay, random question.
Yeah.
Selena.
Yeah.
Okay, so Selena has a question about our health insurance. We've talked about it a little bit before, but we use Safety Wing. And they have a Nomad policy that we use, and they now have 2 separate policies. There's a more expensive policy that will cover you for pretty much everything, including like cancer treatments and all this kind of stuff, if you chose that one. We don't have that specific policy. We have the other one, and it runs us around
$330 per month.
Canadians. It's about $235 US dollars for the 2 of us. And that's for health insurance outside of the US. If we were to add US into that policy, it would be significantly higher. So we don't have the US in our health insurance. We don't travel there a lot. We're traveling elsewhere right now. So it's not included. If we go, then we'll just get a separate policy that'll cover us for while we're in the US. But Safety Wing is a great option. And I think there's a couple others. When I was doing our research, they were a bit more money, but they might include some stuff that's important to you. But Safety Wing met our needs. So that's the one that we're using. And it's not too bad, really.
No, no complaints. So you can see the link that you can kind of get the QR code that's on your screen. You can go and take a look. And the amount that we pay, it kind of depends on our situation, the age factor, health, like previous health conditions and stuff like that. But yeah, we are quite happy with Safety Wing.
Yeah. Okay. So we are currently in any mineral rights.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. You're welcome, Selena. Yeah. Genki. Yeah, Chris, it's another one as well. Genki. I don't know how I pronounce if it's Genki or Genki. But yeah.
In Mazki Finance. Send us an email if you don't mind about, I'm not really sure what mineral rights acreage is. So send us an email because that's interesting. We always like to learn new things. So that would be great. Okay. So where are we now and how did we get here? Well, we were in Mexico in May.
You were in Mexico in May. Where did we go in Mexico? Let's start with that.
Yeah.
We landed in Mexico City. From Mexico City, we went up north to Querétaro, which is the city that Christine used to live before a few years ago.
A few or 27 years ago.
27
years ago, I went to university in Mexico. And so my best friend, Karen, and her husband came down and the 4 of us went to Querétaro to show Jean and Darren where we were, show them the city that we loved in Mexico and kind of where we went. So we had a great time.
Yeah. From there, we kind of came back to Mexico City again, and we have one of the things that it's unforgettable, which is a balloon over the pyramids.
Yeah.
Teotihuacan.
So we did a sunrise hot air balloon over Teotihuacan, which, I mean, talk about budget. That was $500 US for the 2 of us for about a 30-minute balloon ride. However,
priceless.
fantastic.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really, really cool. And from there, so this is all fast travel too. At this point, we spent 7 days in Querétaro. We were in Mexico City for 4 days. After Karen and Darren left
Yeah.
us in Mexico City, we went to Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, yes.
We were in Oaxaca for 12 days,
Yes.
which if anybody has been, you'll understand how like Oaxaca is
It's
amazing.
very, very nice. Yeah.
And we'll go back in a heartbeat to Oaxaca. If you haven't had a chance, highly recommend it. From Oaxaca, we came back up to Puebla, and that's where we truly hit our wall.
Yeah, that's hotel stays all the time, right? So that's what we need to do. In Mexico, we stay all of this time in hotels, and even before that. Here we are in Puebla at the beginning of May, staying in an IHG property, quite nice, intercontinental there. But that's when we started to realize what's going on.
Yeah,
right?
We weren't going out. We weren't exploring the city. We just, at that point, I don't think we were enjoying ourselves.
No.
And pretty much Jean said, are we just here now to be here until the 29th when we catch our flight? And that's what we were doing. We were just kind of sitting there waiting for a flight. And we thought, well, if we're just sitting here waiting for a flight, we were so tired. We were so tired at that point of the decisions that we talked about before about where we were going to eat and things like that, that it was too much for us. What language were we speaking today and things like that, that we decided, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's change our flight. Let's go home where we can decompress, spend some time with family and kind of reset and think about how we want to travel in the coming year or the next section of travel.
And that's what we did. We ended up changing our flight, and we came back to Canada on the second week of May. And here we are.
Yeah. As you can see, I shut the window. Otherwise, all you'd see is like trees and birds out there. But we're in the country, spending some time with my dad and his partner. We're going into Toronto quite a bit to visit some friends, which is also really nice. And for the past 4 weeks now, I guess we've been home kind of 4 weeks now.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
We've reset. I feel like we're thought than we were when we were leaving Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're ready. We're ready now for our upcoming travels.
Yes. Yeah.
So what does our next, let's do until December. What does until December look like?
Well, what we have done, and we did not change, is actually the flights that we already had booked at the end of 2024. We already had booked all of our flights for 2025. So in August, at the beginning of August, just after my birthday, by the way, we are going to go and we will go to Greece.
Yes.
We are landing in Athens, and we're going to spend almost 3 weeks more or less in Greece, visiting a few cities. Athens is one of them. What is the other one?
So we're doing 4 days in 4 days in Greece, or
Athens.
4 days in Athens. 4 days or 3 days in Metoria, which is where the monasteries are up on top of these really tall cliffs. And then we're going to spend 4 days in Thessaloniki.
Yeah.
And from there, our original plan was to spend more time in Greece, but it's August, so it's hot, and it is also high tourist season, so prices were a little bit more than our budget allows for at this time. So we'll go back to Greece on a shoulder season.
Yes.
However, from Greece, we are headed to...
Well, from Greece, we are heading to Bulgaria. That's where we are going to go. This is not our initial plan from last year, but basically, if you think about it, you have Greece, you have Bulgaria up here, and Turkey is just a little bit east. Yeah. Of
both of them, really.
Yes. And that's what we decided to do. We are going to spend more time in Bulgaria, and we will be in a few cities in Bulgaria, Sofia. We have been doing more research now, and places that we wanted to be. Sofia is the capital, as you guys know. We are going to spend some time there. We've heard of Plovdiv. We might spend some time in Plovdiv, but we wanted to explore more Bulgaria.
Yes.
Right?
And so we want to explore Bulgaria, but we want that sense of home as well. Originally, it was going to be another rapid trip through Bulgaria, maybe a week here, 2 weeks there, and then go to Turkey. And then it was going to be the same thing in Turkey. We were going to be in Turkey only a month before we left. So recently, we have decided that other than Istanbul, right before we leave, go to our next destination, Turkey is not on the list this round. We'll see Istanbul for probably 8 to 10 days. Other than that, we're going to be in Bulgaria the whole time.
Yeah. And you might be asking, why Istanbul? Because going back to the flights that I was telling you guys before, the flights that we booked, we only book now one-way flight. So from Toronto, we go to Athens, and we make our way for the domestic flights or whatever the case is, or bus or train. But we had another flight booked, which is from Istanbul going to the next destination, which we're going to talk in a few minutes, but it's going to be Thailand. So we had this time between Greece and Istanbul, going through different cities, and we decided to go instead to Bulgaria and spend more time there.
Yeah. So we, Chris, Bangso. Have you been? Because we've heard fantastic things about Bangso. So it's definitely one place that we want to check out. And if anybody has suggestions of other places to go, and they don't even have to be large cities, like another learning thing that we found over the last year is that we actually prefer not necessarily the capitals or the biggest cities. We prefer sort of those mid-sized cities. So if anybody has suggestions in Bulgaria, let us know, because we're very open to good suggestions, because we've heard Bangso is good for a lot of outdoor recreation, hiking and things like that, as well as being a beautiful city itself. So
skiing as well.
Yeah.
But of course,
wrong
we are
season,
not
but
gonna be for us, right? But yeah.
So that's the plan right now. We're set to be in Bulgaria probably from mid-August until mid-October.
Yes.
So pretty close to 2 months.
Yeah, which is good. We have not, another learning opportunity, we have not booked everything yet, because that's what we are going to be trying to do, is looking at a few places and staying in hotels for 1 week to kind of get a sense of the city, see where we are, and from there we can go and make the decision. Is there a city, using Sofia as an example, do you want to stay 1 month in Sofia? Maybe not. So let's go to Plovdiv and keep exploring as we go.
Yeah, we have we've met some fantastic people this year. One of the couples that we met, their strategy is that they'll go to a city for 4 days or whatever and book into a hotel. They get to know the areas, the different neighborhoods. They pick a neighborhood they like, and then what they do is they set up from Airbnb. They'll message hosts and set up appointments sort of to go and check out the accommodation to make sure it's suitable to them. So I'm going to try that in Bulgaria and see how it goes.
Yes.
Miss you guys too. So we are, and we're back now, and we'll get to that part of the conversation as well here in a second. There's some stuff to talk about there as well. So yes, so
that's the plan.
After Bulgaria, we go to Istanbul for 10 days, right around there, and then we go to Thailand.
One of the things that we've always wanted to do is the experience. So we're gonna be flying with Qatar Airways. That's one a dream that I've had before, and fly the Q Suites. So we are gonna go
on points, guys. We're not paying cash for this.
No.
It's all points.
Yes. We go Istanbul to Doha. We have a stopover in Doha for a few hours, and 3 or 4 hours, and from Doha we go to Bangkok. So we land in Bangkok at the end of October.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And then we're going to jump right on a plane as soon as we land, pretty much 6 hours afterwards, thereabouts, and head to Chiang Mai, which is where we're going to be for around 3 weeks in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
And we're there for the Lantern Festival. There's a huge Lantern Festival that happens at the beginning of November this year. And we really wanted to be there for that. So
yeah,
we're going. My friend Karen that came to Mexico, her and her husband are coming to meet us there for 3 days. And we're also meeting up with Ashley and Levon, a couple of other friends of ours that we've met with traveling. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, if
anybody
Colette and Edgar, if you guys are kind of, that's the good thing about this lifestyle, which is the people that we meet along the way and say, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to go to this place or this place and this place. Oh, maybe I can change my plans and meet you guys. So,
and Damien, if you're able to come to Thailand, let us know.
Yeah, so that's what we are going to do. Maybe Colette and Edgar, they are also going to be able to meet us, if not this year, next year, because we will be in Southeast Asia at that time.
Yeah. So from Chiang Mai, the loose plan, and I say loose because none of this is nailed down at this point. The only thing that is for sure is that we will be in Chiang Mai. After Chiang Mai, we have things booked, but they're booked in hotels on points that are easy to cancel and switch around. So the loose plan is from Chiang Mai, we continue north and we're going to go over the border into Laos. And we're going to spend about 3 weeks in Laos. I think we're going to try and do a 2 or 3 day cruise down the Mekong River and spend probably 2 weeks in Laos exploring in and around there before we head back to Bangkok.
Yes, we will be spending New Year's and Christmas, all these festivities in Bangkok.
Right? Yeah, and that one is in a hotel. We do have a hotel booked for that one. We are actually using the Wyndham program that Jean talked about earlier. We booked into a Ramada in Bangkok, but it's actually an apartment. So there's a washing machine in the hotel. There's a kitchen. There's a separate living room, separate bedroom. So we're going to give that one a go. The other apartment hotel we stayed in was not a Wyndham.
No.
Wasn't a great one. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens there. Let's see. Okay, we've got some suggestions here.
Well, Lori is saying to go to Bali after Thailand.
You're getting ahead of us, Lori.
Yeah, we haven't seen. It's nice to see you again. Yeah, thank you. Well,
there was one up here too.
Sorry.
No, further up.
I'm too bad.
We were planning to retire end of year as well, then full-time travel, spending
9 weeks in Southeast Asia in July and August.
Oh, until July and August. Okay. Well, keep us posted if you guys are there. We are going to be in Southeast Asia until the end of April. So anybody who's over there, let us know where you guys are all going to be. And if it all works out, we would love to meet up.
Yeah.
Hang out, go for some dinners and whatever, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so where are we?
We are in Laos.
In Laos.
Oh, sorry,
no, we're in
Thailand. Yeah, Bangkok. Yeah.
So that takes us kind of to the new year, right? We are finishing out 2025 in Bangkok over the holidays. And then our current plan, nothing booked again, is to make our way to Kuala Lumpur.
Yes.
And into Malaysia. And we have a specific reason for going to Kuala Lumpur, other than the city looks fantastic. But we really wanted to try out their health screening programs that they have there, where you can go and they do like your complete medical exams, things like that. So we had some tests done in Brazil, and now we want to repeat all of the tests and some more when we get to Malaysia. So we just really want to stay on top of our health. We really want to make that our priority as we sit here drinking.
I'm sorry, but I miss my crown, so I'm having crown if you guys are.
So that's the loose plan is to be in Malaysia probably for 3 to 4 weeks in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
That takes us until around the first week of February. Nothing after this is remotely planned
No,
at
which is
all.
also good because we have flexibility and we decided where we wanted to go. Right?
Yeah, which is funny, Lori, that you mentioned Bali, because we were literally 2 days ago, I was looking at places to go in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
Bali looks amazing, but we're just wondering if it's too touristy. So if you guys have been to Bali and know of places that are kind of off the tourist trail a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
let us know, because we were looking, I think Lombok Island was
Yeah.
another one we were looking
Mhm.
at. Sumatra.
So no, it's not Sumatra. Sumatra is
Something.
Indonesia. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's in Indonesia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
there's a
it's
bunch
fine.
of them. Anyways,
Yeah.
so we were thinking maybe Indonesia
Mhm.
after Kuala Lumpur.
Yep.
And from there, we leave from Singapore to come back to Canada.
Yes. Well, that's something else that it's planned, but I've learned my lesson. Right. Lombok, Indonesia. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Brooke. One of the things that we've learned is the flexibility, and basically what we wanted to do is, well, next year in 2026, what? 2026, yeah, the World Cup is gonna be coming here to North America, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. The plan that we have in place is actually to stay here in Canada and hopefully watch a few games, but if not, just go to the party. And by the way, FIFA, the prices of those tickets are expensive. So I don't know
think we're going to any
we are
games.
gonna choose, but at least kind of have a sense of the festivities that we're definitely gonna have here in Toronto. So we end up booking our flight back from Southeast Asia to Toronto in
End of April.
at the end of April. So that's what we kind of have planned. The good thing is we can cancel this flight if we want to, and we won't have to pay any charges at all. We are doing this, by the way, with points. One of the other dreams that I've had is to fly the A380. We are gonna do this from Singapore, going to Frankfurt in Germany. So we might even spend some time.
Right now we have 2 weeks
Yeah, yeah,
layover, but we'll see.
in Frankfurt, and from Frankfurt we'll fly to Canada, right? So
yeah, right now that's the plan, but things could change.
Yeah, they always change.
I think we're trying to stay a little bit more flexible. And I think we're doing well. I mean, we're booked up until Chiang Mai. After that, everything, like we said, we have a loose idea of what we want to do, but nothing is set in stone. Even our flights, everything, if we've made a booking, it has free cancellation with it, and that goes for hotels and flights or Airbnb. So.
Yeah, that's the good thing, right? Which is having the flexibility, which allows us to do those things. So I want to say a few hi. So uma mala e uma mochila. I know her. It's Gabi. They are in Calgary, so it's nice to see you. And by the way, Gabi, she gave us really good recommendations, like a day-to-day and things to do in Chiang Mai, like in Thailand. So
Thank you.
did not forget that at all. And Brooke, she was talking about Lombok, Indonesia. So you did mention that, right?
They've been twice, it looks like. So.
Oh yeah, we'll be there for 3 weeks this August. Please let us know how it goes, because
and any suggestions of good places to stay, which would be very helpful.
Yeah. And Simon saying that when to Bali in December, tourist spot can find places that are more quiet, which I feel like I found it kind of suits more the kind of lifestyle that
because
we wanted
to
do,
see
right?
Bali. It's something that it seems like it's on everybody's. I just kicked you guys. It seems like it's on everybody's bucket list. So I'd like to see it. Whether we stay there for a month, I don't know, but we maybe will go to Bali, check it out, go to Lombok.
Did you guys watch Eat, Pray, and Love? Use the comments below. That's an old movie, but I love movies. So Eat, Pray, and Love. Is it Eat, Pray, and Love? Yeah. So did you guys watch this movie? Do you like it? So that's why Bali is always like in my mind.
Dominic, you are in Cambodia. Where are you?
Let me see.
Just
Singapore to see Lady Gaga. I hope we can meet somewhere. Yeah.
Definitely. So that's kind of our path is Thailand, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia,
Singapore.
And Singapore. However, Cambodia is not far. So keep us looped in if you're going to be there the whole time or if you have plans to travel, and we'll see if we can meet up somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it comes to April 2026,
Yeah.
right?
So we're planned
Yeah.
up. We're trying not to get too ahead of ourselves. And I think that that will be helpful as well, because it can get a little, the planning for anybody getting into this or anybody currently living this type of life, the planning can be a lot.
It
Like
does.
we talked about
They-
researching more,
yeah.
but researching takes time. Planning the travel aspect of our lives is almost a full-time job unto
It
itself
is. It is.
sometimes. So
Yeah.
I don't want us to get too far ahead, because I really want us to be able to look at the places we're going and research those places and enjoy the location we're in
Yeah.
before we start thinking too far ahead about where we're going.
Yeah. One other thing that just came to my mind is, well, since we came back, we've had a chance to see our friends and some of the folks that we met years and years ago at the beginning of the journey. They also stopped working. I'm gonna say Chris. So it was nice
Yes.
seeing Chris. Chris is actually traveling now, so good. We also met some of our friends, and they are planning to do this. Well, Kim, so she
Yeah.
also stopped working, which is nice, good for them. And we met a few people who are actually in the process. Can I do it? Can't I do it? Is it worth it? Is it
Yeah.
not worth it? We definitely think that it is, but it takes time, right? So to solidify this idea, to make sure that we have enough money to do the things that we wanted to do, and keep thinking about that and keep exploring the ideas, because at the end of the day it's a change of mindset that we've had a few years ago, and here we are. Were we concerned? Yes. Were we afraid of not having enough money? Yes. Were we afraid of selling everything that we've had? Yes. But here we are.
Yeah. And I think it's only getting better. So I think we were kind of scrambling, unsure of ourselves a little bit last year. This year, moving into this next cycle of travel for us, I feel like we're more confident, and we don't sweat the small stuff as much as we were at the beginning of last year.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is nice.
Oh, it's also Gary. I forgot about him. They also
Oh,
stopped
yes.
working. So, but at the end of the day, think about those things. What it's important for you. If you guys are interested in this topic, which I'm sure that you are, so that's why we are here. Look at your budget and see what are the things that are important to you and the things that you wanted to spend money with, and find your way, in figuring out how much you are gonna need, and day by day you can solidify this idea and see if this is actually what we are looking for, right? It's good. Something else that I just remember when I was actually talking to mom a few months ago is the fact that we have only this life, and sooner or later it is gonna be our time to go. And I was talking to her, and it seems, I don't know if it's weird is the best word to describe that, but some of the people that I use it to kind of hang out with, not me, I mean, I was with mom and dad, they were like their friends, they are not around anymore, right? Where is this person? It's not around anymore. What about the other one? It's not around anymore. And why would we have to wait until we turn 65 to make this decision? That's one of the reasons that we decided to do, and we are happy with it. But the more and more that we get experience in life, or getting old, or whatever term we wanted to do, the less time that we have to enjoy ourselves, the less time we have to go and do the camino that we wanted to do. We explored that, and we wanted to do that again. Why? Well, because we had an opportunity and we allowed ourselves to do those things. Right?
Yes.
What are you thinking?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So yes, think about those things. Think what is important to you, or not kind of dragging every single day and going to work. And another lesson that I've learned is don't be dependent only on one employer, because you never know what is going to happen today, what is going to happen tomorrow, right? Do what is in your control, which is get new skills and see what is out there. Okay, I'll stop.
I was good.
Yeah.
But before we get to, it's been an hour, so I don't know if anybody has questions that they would like to ask. I know we've been gone for a while, so we kind of wanted to touch briefly on the channel as well, really quickly.
Mhm.
We're not going anywhere. However, there may be some difference coming to the channel. YouTube wasn't nice to us.
Mhm.
So, Larry and Greg, how are you guys?
That's nice.
We actually had some video chats, so thank you for reaching out. So YouTube was confused. We confused YouTube between our financial independence content and our travel content.
Mhm.
So YouTube wasn't happy with us. And it just wasn't, the channel wasn't performing the way we were hoping it would. So we've kind of come to a decision that we're going to keep this particular channel more of like, retirement or financial independence and retirement content.
Mhm.
And soon we will also be doing another channel with travel type
Mhm.
content on it. So it's going to get split up a little bit. We're going to see if that makes YouTube a little bit happier.
And make you guys happier as well, right? So because you might be looking for content that is more financial independence and not travel, because you might don't want to travel and spend all of your time kind of going around the world and looking for hotels and stuff like that. So
Yeah, but let us know what you guys think, because this is sort of what we've come to understand is what's happening with the channel. But let us know what you guys are looking for as well, because that's what we really ultimately want to bring is content that you find interesting and useful. So let us know what you're looking for or what you would enjoy seeing, and we'll do our best to bring it to you. They always are.
that's a fan.
I like it.
Carlos, yeah.
Because don't worry, everyone goes through the same stuff. Well, we appreciate it. I mean,
you.
in our minds, it all made sense, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
The more and
wasn't
more,
making sense
yeah,
to
it doesn't
YouTube.
make any
To the
sense, right?
algorithms
To the
and
algorithm and what
what's working in the
they
background
yeah,
there.
what they like, yeah.
So,
But one of the things that is really important and that kind of helped us, it is the sense of community. As you guys might know, we had the membership community on YouTube, and we've had a chance and get a lot of responses, of course, from you guys, but sometimes you were posting a little bit more frequent on the community, and the support that we have from the community was amazing, right? Because that's what it really matters at the end of the day is this kind of lifestyle doesn't fit everyone, and sometimes we don't have anyone to talk about financial independence, to talk about early retirement and things like this. And when we find our community where we can exchange ideas, where we can hear what you have to say, it does help quite a lot. So I want to say thanks for the members of our community and what they were able to really keep us engaged in sharing what's going on and keep us, you know, doing the things that we like. So I want to say thank you very much.
But
right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody on this channel has been wonderful, and we truly appreciate all of the support that you guys have shown us. And we needed a few weeks to kind of reset,
decompress,
but we feel good now. We're relaxed again. We're ready to go. But I mean, there's going to be a little bit of more financial or retirement content here. And then we're going to start developing more of the travel side. And we'll keep you posted. Excuse me. I don't think we even have the name of the channel.
No.
We'll let you in on that secret after.
Yes. But at the end of the day, it's part of what we are looking for, right? When we started the channel, was more about dividend income, how are we going to be able to support ourselves and all of this stuff, which I still think it's important because maybe some of you are still on this process of, do I have enough money? And how am I going to draw down my money? All of this stuff, which after 1 year, the more and more we know that it works, so we are happy with the path that we took.
Yeah, well, we just want to share that with everybody, right? So, Anyways, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask away. Any suggestions, let us know and send us an email.
Yes, we are now back in Canada. We are gonna have a chance to meet some of you guys over the next weeks, which is great. But yeah, based on where we are, maybe perhaps you guys are gonna be at the same area. We'll be more than happy to
meet up.
Yeah, meet up.
Send us an email. So currently we are in the Quinte West area, and I know some people are Peterborough, Campbellford, that kind of area. So send us an email and we'll try and see if we can arrange a time where we can all kind of get together and meet up, as well as our Toronto crew and anybody up in Hamilton and Burlington, stuff like that. Send us an email. Let's see if we can connect and come up with maybe a date and time that we can all just sort of meet and get together, chat, right? Face to face, so we can see your faces, because we want to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as always, you are not alone. Send us an email if you are dealing with stuff that you don't have anybody to talk about, financial independence, early retirement, all of those things. We are more than happy to connect with you.
Yep.
We do have time, and we are grateful for having this time free, and we can definitely, and you're more than happy to help you as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So if nobody has any questions, maybe we'll end it there for tonight, because it's been over an hour and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing us drone on. But we really wanted just to catch you guys up, let you know where we've sort of gone the past few weeks, the reasons sort of behind that, and hopefully, are you still headed to Turkey in October? So no, we've kind of, other than the end of Turkey, end of October, we're going to be in Istanbul, but we're going to spend the majority of our time now in Bulgaria. So, yes. Well, we do appreciate it, Carlos the man.
What is Carlos saying? Oh, thank you. Thank you
very much. We appreciate it. And we get as much, if not more, from all of you guys in your comments and suggestions and emails to us than you realize. So we do appreciate all of that support.
Yeah, I can answer this question, Donna's question. You previously talked about doing some swing trade. Were you doing any option trading? No option trading. And Christine, she doesn't let me do any swing trades anymore. So, Donna, we are quite...
Yeah. We're now more risk adverse.
Yes. I don't have... I mean, we don't work anymore, so I can't...
Yeah. I think... Maybe in the future, we'll see. I think we really need to give our current model a couple of years to make sure that it's bang on, and then maybe he'll get some play money. But right now,
I don't have any allowance.
There's no play money in the budget.
No, we are not. But again, we don't do anything other than reinvesting the money in some of the positions that we've had, like the growth ETFs that we have in our portfolio. All that we do is reinvest that, and we are living off of our dividend income, which we draw down, and this is the money that we are living, right?
Yeah.
So other than that, the market is doing its thing, which, as we know, is only compound interest, and we let the money grow.
Yeah. Right now, there's no extra money for the swing trades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Down the road, we'll see. Who knows? If we're able to come up with a little bit, maybe we can do a few more of those in the future, but right now, no swing trading.
I might do it, and she doesn't even know, but she has access to all the accounts, so it's... No, we are not. So to answer your question, no, it's just join the market, do its thing, right?
Let's see. Practice kind of just when I jumped. Well, do you have any questions, or let us know? We'll answer them here before we kind of say goodbye, but well, we appreciate it. I think that was our goal, Donna, for starting the channel. Really, we wanted to show people that it is a possibility, that there are alternatives to what we've all believed to be our path to retirement since we were younger, right? In my
Mhm.
life and in my mind, I was going to work till I was 60, 65, and that's when I was going to retire,
Mhm.
right? But then we both found this new option available to us and realized that it was possible. We want others to realize that this is
Mhm.
something that's extremely doable if you want it to be your path as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, what else?
Yeah.
Anything else?
How I'm gonna ask you a question. She doesn't know. I always come up with those questions. From 1 to 10, how do you rank? How do you mark our first year?
Hmm.
From 1 to 10.
I would say it's been an 8.
Why?
Well, there's been a lot of really great things, but I feel like the last 3 months, and there's been some things that we've had to learn along the way, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like the last 3.5 months, kind of, that's where we lost the 2 points in my mind, because we were not, we
You're
had a
not
good time, but we
enjoying.
weren't, the hotel thing
Uh-huh.
really kind of dragged us down, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 8.5. I'll give us an 8.5.
No, it's round numbers. Round numbers. 8 or 9.
8.
8. Okay.
Yeah. Only because there was some things that, as just learning opportunities we've had this
Yeah.
year along the way. And the biggest one was, and maybe it was just a combination of, we were traveling too fast and we were living in hotels, but we really kind of got into a little bit of a
Yeah.
funk, and that really dragged us down mentally.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we have to experience, we have to put ourselves out there and see what it kind of fits us. Because before, I mean, both of us were working, all that we had is like 2 weeks per year. And it's funny, remember when we were with Karen and Darren? So like the kind
Oh my
of
God. Well, they were
travel,
vacationing.
yeah, that's a good way of
Yeah.
putting it. The kind of lifestyle that we were used to, kind of slow traveling, it was totally the opposite when we met with them,
It
right?
flipped in a day, and we
Mhm.
were moving so fast, seeing so
Yeah.
many things. We didn't know what to do. We sat down and we said to each other, we're not used to this speed of
No.
travel anymore.
Yeah.
Because for them, they were on vacation and we are not on
And
vacation.
we
And that's
totally
what
understand.
has
Yeah.
taken us a year to
Mhm.
understand, is that this is now just life, not vacation.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's us living and not needing to see everything in 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's fine. So there's someone else here. Look, let's see.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
Anybody looking for another really good channel for new people that are just starting out with their fire and travel journey? Gary and Kara, they just fired a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and they're out traveling too. And we had a chance to meet up in Florida in November when we were there, so it was
Mhm.
really nice. So nice
Yeah,
to see you
it's
guys
nice
here.
to see you guys. Yeah, go and check them out.
Yeah.
That's a really good channel. And the last video that we watched, we left a comment, and they were basically describing what is the way of doing this, right? So that basically, if I'm not mistaken, the 3 steps that we kind of have. And go and check their videos and subscribe to their channel, so you guys are gonna enjoy, and you're gonna meet Molly, so which is nice.
Super cute.
Yeah, Larry is asking a question. Why
Bulgaria?
Bulgaria? That's a good question.
So, to be completely honest, when we decided Bulgaria, it was more of a cost reason. We thought it was going to be from what we'd understood and we'd heard, it was a lower cost place where we could go and maybe save a little bit of money, because our first couple of months of this year have been a bit overspending. But to be honest, the more we learn about Bulgaria and the more we're reading and researching about it, we can't believe more people don't go to Bulgaria.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I love history. I love ancient history. There's Roman ruins. There's like medieval history. There's castles and monasteries and all this kind of stuff that I'm going to love. Plus more modern history that goes along with it, and everything that happened during and after the Second World War and that. And so I think it's a fascinating country. So I'm really excited to go to Bulgaria now. that, and the food looks really good.
Yes, yeah. And the wine. I did not even know that on the south of Bulgaria, I can't remember the name of the city or the town. They also produce wine, and I'm really looking forward to tasting their wine as well. There's the
Yeah.
wine region in the south of Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, basically,
Initially, it was simply financial.
mhm,
We thought it would be a good place to be able to spend or save a little bit of money. But to be completely honest, I'm now looking forward to Bulgaria, probably, and that's probably why we decided to drop Turkey this time around and spend more time in Bulgaria, because it just
mhm,
started to become more of a fascinating country for us to learn and
yeah,
see.
which we I believe that you're gonna be able to say, yes, I have been to Bulgaria, because the plan is start in Sofia, but go north and go south and see a little bit of the country
Yeah.
rather than going to a
Yeah.
city, I mean to the country, and just staying like in one or two places. So we wanted to explore a little bit more
Yeah.
of
And it's
the
not a big
country, right?
country, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
should be easy to get around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and easy as well. Maybe we can have, I don't know, something else like in Europe, go and meet up with somebody. There are so many people that there are gonna be Romania, there are gonna be in Turkey, so we can always.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the flights are not that expensive,
It's
which it
pretty
kind of
close.
helps to travel around Europe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos the man, send us an email, because like we said before, we're always interested in new ideas and new
Yeah.
possibilities. So send us an email and we can chat about
Yeah.
options.
Yeah, but which
Maybe I'll let him
email?
try it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. We never said anything, but I'm gonna put the email up here. Sorry, it's all cut. Info at
Yeah.
farvigo.com. Oops.
Show.com. Yeah.
There
Anybody,
we go.
send us an email anytime, any
Uh-huh.
suggestions, any
Yeah.
questions,
Mhm.
or anything. We'd love to hear from all of you.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, you are not gonna ask me a question. I also say it's also an 8 for
Oh, same
where we
question
are.
too. Got distracted.
For those reasons that Christine mentioned, right? So we learn as we go, we keep improving, and we, at the end of the day, with all the ups and downs, we are very grateful for having an opportunity to do that, to go out, yes, make mistakes, we all
Yeah.
do, it's not going to be perfect, we knew this, but having the flexibility of deciding on where to go and when to go or kind of come back, that's what it allows us to live this lifestyle, and that's what it allows us to spend time with our family here. So that's priceless,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We've
So
had a great year. And
uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think any year is going to be a 10 out of 10. There's always going to be something that comes up, or, that we've learned that can make the next year better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think a solid 8. It was a good year.
Yeah, it was a great year.
I think they're only going to get better too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I can't wait, because this coming rotation of travel for us is completely new. Neither one of us have been to any of the places that we're headed to this year. We speak none of the languages we're going to encounter, even though the vast majority of people or places, people are going to know some English, but it's going to be fun.
That's basically what the guys are saying. Up to this point, where we have been over the last year, we basically had to speak English, Portuguese, and Spanish. So we were comfortable in speaking these languages, right? Now, as we go through Greece, Bulgaria, Turkey, and Thailand, we know nothing. I tried to learn. I tried to learn Greek. Oh my goodness! All that I knew it was one word, karotaros, which is carrots. So I know how to order maybe carrot.
We can go to the market and look for a carrot.
Oh my goodness, it's difficult, right? So that's like kind of the other fun part, which is learning as we go and exploring the world. So that's what is quite fascinating.
Yeah, and I think that the slower we can go, and I think that's one of our challenges still, is to slow it down. And the slower we can go, the more we can truly understand and really get to know the cities and places we are. So
Yes.
that's our goal kind of moving forward after Greece, because that was already set. Some of those hotels were already set. But once we hit Bulgaria, slow it down.
Yeah.
But we're going to
100%.
keep you guys posted. We're going to bring you along, maybe not on this channel, on another channel for the travel portion, but we're still going to be here with all the other stuff as well.
But carottero is a good word,
Yeah.
and it's really fun. I was actually using Duolingo, and the Duolingo keeps telling me, you are, I don't know, making me cry, basically because I'm not going back to learn Greek. So
you need to pick a different language.
I need to pick a different language. That's right.
So, all right, guys, it has been almost an hour and a half, and we truly appreciate you taking the time to join us. Send us questions. We're going to do these more often. I think it's a great way for all of us to sort of keep in touch and answer some questions that you guys might have. So send us some questions. We can answer them personally by email, or we can always answer them the next time we all get together.
Yep.
All right.
That sounds good.
All right, guys. We wanted to say thank you again, and we hope you have a wonderful night.
Yeah, and happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
For the fathers out there, right? So we hope that you guys are having a good day. Yeah.
My dad did. I got him chocolate-covered almonds and cheese. He likes old cheese, so I got him old cheese.
Look at what Laurie is saying.
Oh my gosh, doers! You have no idea. We were in Campbellford today, Laurie, and it was closed.
Yeah.
So I'm going back on Thursday, and I'm getting cheese bread and some donuts that are cream filled, because those are the best ones.
Yeah, but we went to what is the name of the place that we've got cheese today?
Oh, really Empire Cheese Factory.
Empire Cheese Factory. Yeah. Really good cheese.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, this is 2 places close to Campbellford, and Doers has the best baked goods anywhere. They're so good. Yes. And of course cheese, because
I know.
Small town cheese factories.
Yes. All righty, let's go.
Okay, guys. Love you guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Take care. Thanks again, and we'll see you in our next video, which is gonna come next week. So we promise you.
Any ideas, let us know.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day. Take care.